and that frustrated me a lot. I'm gonna send out a PSA. Okay, we saw. We're gonna go sit in the car for 3 more hours. We're just driving on the opposite side of the road. Okay, well, hopefully the background noise is not too loud, but I wanted to get on here after returning from Bahrain, where we experienced our first F1 race. And we went for Friday, Saturday, so we didn't go to the practice day, but we went to qualifying and actual race day. Mixed feelings. The race is super cool. The cars are amazing. Our seats were cool. I think next time, if we do see it again, I'd want to be on more of like the main grandstand side. But I did want to come at you and give you just like the highs and the lows and then share where we stayed, because I think kind of the best part of the trip was centered a lot around where we stayed. And yeah, just fill you in on all the things for our first F1. So to start out, I bought these tickets on like a pre-sale. I don't know if it was quite a lottery, but you did just kind of like put in for them. And then we didn't actually get assigned the tickets until 2 weeks before the event. So doing it that way, we did get them at a discount. Wasn't by any means cheap, but at a discount. And ended up, we were in the like, I don't know if it's like a secondary grandstand. Basically, there's like the main grandstand for this track, where the start and finish is. And then there's another grandstand right in front of it. And we got to see all the curves. So I loved that because you weren't seeing the cars go like straight through, like blinding speed, barely could see them. They have to go from so fast to so slow in like this much space to hit the curve. And then seeing that during race day when they were all clustered together, it was really cool. It was so cool. But I would have loved to see the actual racers like getting in and out of their cars. I would have loved to see a pit stop. So for those reasons, I think I'd like to go and see another race and sit more in like the main grandstand area. That being said, it was a cool spot, and the kids were, plenty enthralled for the most part. Getting to the circuit was my biggest low. I don't understand why they did the traffic, organized it the way that they did. We had no issues on qualifying day, but obviously a lot more people go just for the race. And it took 3 hours from our hotel room to the circuit, and it would normally be a 30-minute drive. So we gave ourselves like an hour and a half, and it took twice that long. So we ended up missing the first 45 minutes of the race, which is really not cool. People were getting out of their cars, like letting their friends deal with the parking and just like sprinting towards the circuit. It was really disappointing, even though I don't know that the kids needed to sit through 2 hours. I think the 45 minutes we got to see was plenty for them. We saw, the end of the race, the big fireworks show. But the fact that the race was organized, the logistics were organized in such a way that it caused a 3-hour route, they forced everybody onto the same highway, the same exit, the same streets, one entrance into the circuit, into all the parking lots. We moved about 1 car length every 3 minutes. It was horrible. It was so maddening. I don't understand. And obviously this is not their first time to organize this race. They're part of the season, every season. So anyone who's gone previously, if this is just normal, would love to know, because it definitely seemed like they tried something and it failed. And that frustrated me a lot. At one point, I think James was ready to throw in the towel and just miss the race. But by that point, we were so far in that there was no way to turn around, because they were literally making everything one-way traffic. Google Maps would try to tell you, oh, exit this road and you can go around. Nope, cones and policemen. redirecting everybody to turn back around, go back the way they came. People were screaming, like everybody frustrated. We got to our parking lot. We had a prepaid parking space, or lot, and it was completely full. Cars parked on top of each other. The police, like, completely helpless, couldn't help us, wanted to, but there was nothing they could do. We ended up moving down and parking into a parking lot that was not ours. And it did have plenty of spots, but it seemed really strange that, like, our parking lot would be full, even though we had, like, yep, we're P7, we're parking in P7. And then the one next to it had spaces. So just not the best logistically. Also, I felt like the Bahrain, like, outside of the stadium, like outside of the seating, there weren't a ton of activities for us to get the kids involved in. I thought we would be there all day and have, like, carnival rides and all kinds of things. There was a Ferris wheel. We never made our way over to it. Everything that they did have skewed for a little bit older kids, which makes sense, but the queues were unreal. They did have this, like, Baby Shark Paw Patrol area that could have been useful if the queue wasn't like 3 hours deep. And then all the kids were coming out screaming. So we're like, yeah, it's probably not ideal for us. We waited for 2 hours for food, the line for food to get, stadium food. I'll just put it that way. And yeah, so there were parts of it where it was very much like, okay, like, we came, we saw, we did it, but probably not going to do Bahrain again. Yeah, maybe go somewhere where we're not necessarily having to drive to and from the circuit to such an extent. I don't know. But I'm gonna have some clips here of not only the race itself, which again is so cool. Like, it is so cool. These cars are amazing. James and I have been following the seasons. I mean, he was following it well before it was a Netflix thing. What got me into it was watching it on Netflix, but we've been doing that for years and following drivers that we love, watching them retire, picking new drivers. So that was all very exciting. I will definitely include in here the places that we stayed and come back on with, like, some of those details, because that was fabulous. We had some really good stays and activities outside of. We're here. We're inside. F1 day 1, race 1. Yay. Send out a PSA to Bahrain about major events in their city and say that they should research how Doha handled the World Cup, because there's no reason for the traffic to be as it is and for it to take as long as it did for us to go home last night. They have closed off so many of the routes and trying to funnel all the traffic through one entrance and one exit, and they are creating traffic jams. So try something else. That's all I can say. We're just driving on the opposite side of the road. Okay, so the first place that we stayed was the Nordic Villas Resort. It's like right when you enter Bahrain. It's not too far in on the west side of the country, closer towards the circuit. I booked it not really knowing. I didn't see a ton of information on it, but I did know we booked a place that had a private pool. And for me, it was all about the proximity. And actually, in comparison to a lot of the hotels, this place seemed more budget friendly. So I was completely surprised when we got there, and it was this like compound of giant villas, beautifully maintained. The grounds were really nice. I'll show you, but the rooms are huge. We had a jacuzzi tub in the master bedroom that was just the pinnacle. It was so lovely to sit in there and have a glass of wine and just soak it up. And the house would be excellent for groups. You were allowed visitors. You can book it and have a certain number of visitors come see you. So you can, they say no parties, but like, I don't know, casual gatherings, I suppose, are welcomed. And yeah, the backyard was beautiful. You had this private home. However, it was also still a resort. So there was room service, and they came and cleaned your room every day, fresh towels, nice hotel supplies. Like, yeah, it was good. I don't know. It was very, very nice. And then there were things for the kids to do. So that we like chased the ducks around in the morning. They have ducks in a little pond and a coffee shop that sits on top of the water. And they had a bouncy castle and a water park. Very small, but totally lovely for the kids. The day that we were going to use the water park, they had closed it for like maintenance and cleaning, I think. But the next day we saw that it was open. We just had other plans. There was a trampoline. We could have just stayed. Cohen was totally prepared for us to live there. Okay, I don't know how I missed this the first time around. That's a hot tub. I'm gonna have to get in here in the daylight. Good morning. Hello. Hi, good morning. Good morning. Hi. Oh, that's for the pool table.
Mommy, go in the bathroom. asking you if they have rooms?
Yeah, I tried before.
I booked it for us to check out on the race day, thinking that we'd go to the race and go home. And we ended up deciding to stay another night. So we booked on the east side of the country a room at the Gulf Hotel. And what we ended up doing is checking out in the morning of race day, and having experienced most of the things already during the qualifying day, like seeing the shows and stuff that were going on at the circuit, we didn't really feel like we needed a ton of time there. And so our plan was go enjoy the hotel and then just show up for the race on race day, which I've already explained worked out terribly. We missed half the race. But we did go to a little farm next to Nordic Resort. It is called Roots and Shoots, I think. And they did like a little 30-minute tour of their farm where we got to pet some animals and feed chickens and just kind of see how and what they grow for some of the really high-end restaurants in Bahrain, which was really cool. Definitely like getting to see, they created the farm so that they could do that, you know, farm to table.
They are so cute.
This is Olive.
Olive, that's right.
Fell in love with a goat named Olive, and it was just a nice way to get outside in the morning and kind of do something different in Bahrain. Then we took all our stuff, went over to the east side, stayed at the Gulf Hotel, stayed there before. What's really lovely about that place is that they have a beautiful pool with like a cave with a waterfall, and we could go and just have a couple drinks and the kids could play and splash around and just really make it something for the whole family.
Is it cold?
Yeah, it's cold.
That worked out really well, except that they had so much fun that we stayed. We ended up like in like a giant bubble bath in our suite, and you know, got on the road thinking that an hour and a half, actually we had 2 hours before race time to get there, and we thought that would be fine, and no, it took an additional hour. So you live and you learn. That was definitely a little bit of a learning curve for us. But we enjoyed it. We enjoyed the stay. We enjoyed the experience. We all got to see something, you know, kind of special. And experienced Bahrain just a little bit differently than our typical pop over, pop back. So yeah, okay. I hope you enjoyed the footage. I will link the stuff as appropriate if you're interested. And that's it. Goodbye.